Caddis Maximus here, this time with a review of the Fastenal PowerPhase 950 lumen indoor-outdoor rated work light. I like this work light. I'm actually going to compare this to the infamous Snap-on that, there's 1,000 reviews of this thing on Amazon alone. So tons of these sold. They're not warranted by Snap-on, so a lot of people are learning that the hard way, that just because it has a power tool company or a tool company name on it doesn't mean they're going to support it like a Craftsman product. If it says Craftsman, they're going to support it under the Craftsman warranty. Not so a Snap-on. This is it's a rebrand. You got to deal with whoever you bought it from. So anyway, this is not rain rated. This is rain rated. This thing is around $40. It seems, Costco, various places have had these on sale. The Snap-on one, when I went to Amazon, was like $80. It was outrageous. And the only thing that's really noteworthy is it has glass, which doesn't get fogged up, but can break. This is 5000K. It has this is a true floodlight. So even though it's twice as bright as this, it actually has less specific light concentration in a specific area, just because it doesn't have real nice lensing, such as the Pacific. I really appreciate that. It has like these pocket lenses, so it kind of gives you some bright areas, and then a more of a flood area. It's really surprising. They worked pretty hard on this unit to make it seem like they were trying to make it simulate both the color of a halogen, but also the light pattern of it. And I just thought it was kind of interesting that they tried to keep it true like that. The Snap-on is just a big, bright, wide area, 5000K work, or 5000K color temperature, 2000 lumen work light. But if you want a lot of light and it's more of a tight spot, then this thing's got to be just a few feet away, or at least this can be aimed. And the fact that the Snap-on costs so much and isn't even rain rated. I mean, come on now, that's not a work light. This thing and the plastic housing, just the back portion of that Snap-on is metal, where on this one it's cast aluminum front. It does have a polycarbonate lens, which you'll have to do a headlight polishing on when they get all scratched up. At least you can do that. It's much more impact resistant from getting kicked over and thrown in a truck, all that kind of stuff. And the back plate is cast aluminum, so everything is heat sink through there, and it is indeed wet location. So this one is actually a Pacific 2.5. So I don't even live in Washington State, but this is like Fastenal and other companies, and this is actually kind of like a distributor rebrand, which I thought was interesting. Is it was rebranded and they had handwritten what the company was. It was really odd. Anyway, this unit, and we'll include the part numbers there, really is suitable for wet location use, but you don't want to use any of these lights that are rated for rain. This is like Christmas light rain rated. It's not submersible, and obviously that's why they don't want you using it near pools and spas or next to the bathtub or anything like that, because you don't want it falling in. But it is nice to have a normal work light where if it gets left out in the rain, or you just need to work when it's raining, that you don't have to worry about it. I was going to take it apart just to show the inside, but my experience with the kind of specialized seals is sometimes they use nicer ones where you can open them up and close them, and sometimes those seals get a little stuck and will tear, and then it's just a big hassle to try to get it all fixed. And so I'm going to avoid taking this one apart, but it is pretty decent. It can be. They just use 4 Phillips head screws, so you can easily service it if you need to service the button or replace the power cord. This is just a twist, a crimp type twist, so it has a little seal in there that seals around the cord so water won't get in there. It has a swivel base, and initially I kind of liked the Snap-on because it just had a fixed base, but I realized since this is definitely outdoor and rain rated, it's a little bit wiser that it has a swivel base. One, they did a decent job where it just has a T-bolt, a through bolt, and then the twist handle here, so if it ever breaks or strips out, at least you can replace it with a nut and bolt or another handle. But you may have the feet. You may find that the feet only work on a certain type of position on the ground or the rocks that you have it set on. And so the swivel base will allow you to twist it around and point the light where you need it while having the feet in a stable location. I also like to pay attention to allowing you to turn it downwards. A lot of work lights emit that, and many times you may have this in a higher location because you get tired of it being on the floor, and every time you turn around, you're staring at a bright LED light, so you may actually want to have it above you, and I thought that was pretty nice. We can see the color temperature a little bit here because I'm under 5000K lights, and you can see how much it almost looks blue over here, or I have the more natural, say 2700K, maybe 3000K light right here. I do appreciate that. It caused the 5000K and 6000K lights cause a bit more washout, and you can see why. It adds a little bit too much blue. So if you're doing finish work, painting, that kind of stuff, I appreciate this light quite a bit. And for Fastenal, which is, they accept public sales from the public, but it's usually like full price. Even their online price is $26 for one of these. So you get two of them and still be better off than the average online price of the Snap-on, although its price varies quite a bit. And since they advertise 50,000 hour average lifespan LEDs, I appreciate that as well. So we know that this thing is really meant to run for a real long time. The Snap-on, not so much the case. If we do run it and see what the verdict is on, we're running 120 volts here. We got 7.17 amps, 19 watts. The sticker says 20, so that's not too bad. 21 VA, there's our frequency, and power factor of 0.90. What I find curious is this is used 20 watts, rated for 950 lumens, and somehow the Snap-on it rated at 25 watts is 2000 lumens. It's a little bit curious, so just for giggles, we're going to go and see. I don't like the rocker switch so much on the Snap-on. It's harder to use than just a regular, push button. A push button is easy to feel behind this thing. You feel the nub and you just press on it. Not some fiddling around with some rocker switch. 0.22 amps, 23 watts. So it's using just a little bit more power. What's its power? Much lower power factor, 0.84. Interesting. And you can see how this has a much higher color temperature because we don't have quite as much blue area over here. Let's take this yellow one that I'm actually reviewing outside. All right, here we are. We'll first turn on the Snap-on. And we can see that really white 5000K light. And this is what I wanted to show about the Fastenal one. So when you turn it on, you can now easily see the difference in color temperature. But what else is interesting here is if we pan it up and down, we can actually see it's rated at quote-unquote less than half the output. But the way it's just a bit more focused, we can see that it has more concentration than a light that's rated for twice as much brightness. And now we turn off that bright blue light and you can see that this really looks like a much more natural light. If we get down there into the wood, we'll do that. Turn that off. Just a little bit more washed out. We'll switch it one more time here. I really like this light and I like the color of it, and I think it's a nicer work light just because you can get a little bit more focus. You can see the 4 points of the 4 LEDs and then a nice amount of flood around it, and it doesn't have to be 5 feet away from where you're working. So anyway, that's generally what I recommend. I recommend this one far over the Snap-on, and these are the only two I have comparisons to. I have a real heavy-duty wobble light, a 400-watt metal halide work light. That's a really bright work light when I need something like that, but I haven't had these LED ones before, and the problem is you don't really know which one is good. You think a Snap-on one that's kind of more expensive really is good, but the opportunity to buy both of these for 40 bucks used has shown me that the one that kind of looks, a little bit more bulbous and maybe a little bit more cheesy is actually the one that I like a lot more. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. Until next time, Catus Maximus out. I will be doing a review focus on the Snap-on as well.